Yes, I was surprised because back home, we do journal clubs. Yes, we do journal clubs, but the way we do our journal club is that a particular article is shared, you go and read it, and then we discuss about it in general. But the structure of this journal club is a little bit different. You have the chair, you have the discussant, you have the presenter. I mean, it's amazing. It's challenging. You have to make your input.
Good afternoon, everyone. You're welcome to this afternoon's journal club. My name is Fumi. I'll be chairing this session, and Ronald will be presenting our topic, so he's our presenter for today. Katie is our discussant, and we expect some contribution from Alex. We have two journals to review. The first one is the use of mixing procedure of mixed methods in health research, and the other is words to describe distress differ across the world, what we found in Kenya.
I think the journal club has helped a lot. First of all, it was to help us to be able to actually lead a journal club. I think because every week we were changing roles. The other week, the first week, I think I was the chair, leading. I was just thrown there to just lead. And then the other week you're presenting, and the other week you're discussant.
So I'll be making a short presentation. I think my role is to summarize what was in the paper. First, they highlight the value of using mixed methods in that you get a deeper and a richer understanding as compared to just using qualitative or quantitative. They also highlight the fact that mixed methods are actually widely used in health service research, in addition to the arts and the humanities as well. But the challenge is that the procedural aspects are not very well defined. They created their own criteria of what the paper should be like. So what are the reasons for mixing? What are the different phases when mixing is done? And what is the different terminology that is used in mixed methods publications?
Be able to voice out, giving me a platform to voice out my opinion about a paper or an article. I think that has been amazing.
In terms of the study design, that is the methods, I thought it was a half and half method. The authors set out to do some sort of a systematic review, because they had to go into databases to pull out those papers. And they sampled purposefully 30 papers. Of course, they had an exclusion criteria.
But sometimes you're a bit drawn back or a little bit shy. Maybe when you're in a group with other students, you're like, maybe they're not going to like my opinion, or somebody's going to oppose it. But I think now, giving me this platform where we can debate and say, this is what I think.
I thought that was not very clear. I don't know what you guys think about that.
I mean, the idea of a journal club is, one, to get everyone used to speaking, public speaking, which is not easy. Two, to engage in literature and be critical of what they read, and ask questions and just be curious about what is happening in journal papers and what people are saying and if it even makes sense. And I guess the third point of it is that they have an opportunity to really learn from each other, to pick up what others seen in the paper that they did not, and maybe through that lens read their own literature over and rework those parts of their research from a different lens.
Good afternoon, everybody. The journal club was very helping us because we divide among us the tasks, and those tasks you learn how to be a discussant, you learn how to be a chair, you learn how to be a presenter. We learn from each other, and I cannot have all skills or knowledge regarding chairing, but I learn from my colleague. This have been helping us a lot. In the case of Leinga, it is necessary to address all sources of delay that contribute to maternal mortality, which may be discussed with the discussant later. Thank you.
Apart from that, playing the role of a discussant, where you are actually supposed to be the one analyzing it and giving this solid, analytical or critical analysis of the paper. It has developed the critical analytical skills in us. And the fact that each and every week you're supposed to give this proper analysis of a paper, that has really helped a lot in developing the analytical skills in us as a team, and personally also.
What would make you say, yes, I will publish this?
So I think the technique is is worth it. It teaches you how to coordinate a session, an academic session, and it also teaches you how to better critique a paper.
I'm just asking, is there more to the involvement of these authors in the issues? Do they have a stake?
There's a statement here where they're saying about what an informant said, but is that the only informant they talked to? Were they talking to people? Were they reviewing policy documents? Were they reviewing published papers? What do you mean a review? I don't get it.
It's not just the reading, it's not just knowing about the finding, but is the finding valid?
With respect to the substance of the work, it's a narrative review. At some point I was asking myself, is this an opinion paper or a narrative? And of course, that's not to take away anything from the fact that there are real problems on ground, but I'm just querying the objectivity of the authors.
That was fantastic, guys. Let's talk about not so much the content of this paper, but this issue of what is a review article, how is it different from a research paper, and some of the more, I guess it's the more subtle things that are happening in this paper that we've touched on, but let's bring it out a bit more. The first thing is, maybe because you mentioned it first, the title. Right? I would give a facilitator 2 pieces of advice. 1, read the paper so that you know if the conversation is going a bit left when it should be going right. And 2nd, don't assume that the students have read the paper. It's a very packed program. We can't expect them to have thoroughly read the paper. I guess it's just about being patient, being nurturing, and allowing them to speak. So a facilitator should not be part of the group. The facilitator should only be there if there's need, but should really allow them to take control of the situation, have their debates, have their discussions, and just be patient with them while they do it.
You grappled a little bit with it. Is it really a journal? What did you think of having an article from the conversation? Did you think it's something that could reach people? So maybe try to think about it in that way. How is it different to a policy brief? Is it more accessible? Is it, there could be different interpretations. The results of our studies are important to be communicated. So maybe try to reflect a little bit on that way, but how do you think it communicated results to the public?
When you look at the introduction and the conclusions, they sound quite similar to me.
So I think that skill, I've really liked it, and I'll be able to implement it back home when I go back home, like on how to stimulate a discussion and for everybody to participate.
All 3 jobs are very difficult. The chair, you'll have to use this in meetings one day, right? Each of you will have to chair meetings, keep to time, keep people from arguing and killing each other. The presenter, you're going to present your research again. Conferences, workshops, seminars. The discussant, you have to bring these questions out with your students when you've read their work and ask them, so what? So what's good about your research? Where's your methodology? Why have you titled it this way? So while it might seem that these are just roles to put you on the spot during jazz and during journal club, I assure you they have greater purpose.